morning, dragons. I hope that you all have had a wonderful, wonderful day. It's Miss Curry Allen here, and of course, Dudley. And I am just so excited to see you today. How are you? Oh, that's really good to hear. I miss you so much, and I hope that you all are healthy and that you're happy and that you're getting to spend lots of time with your families and that you're doing all of your work so that I know that you're working hard and getting smart like Scully, okay? All right, so today we're going to talk all about a word that you might be feeling, and that word is frustrated. But before we begin, let's do a really quick mood meter check-in so that I can see how we're doing. So I'm going to share my screen with you so that you all can see the mood meter. Okay, so let's look at the mood meter. I want you to think. Tap your brain. How are you feeling today? Okay. Today I feel excited. So today I feel excited. So I'm feeling very yellow. So I want for you to do the same. I want for you to say, today I feel, and then fill in the blank, and I'm going to listen. Me and Dudley are going to listen to how you're feeling because I want to check on you, okay? So your turn. Today I feel. Okay, I heard a lot of you were feeling happy. Some of you were feeling Mr. Cool Guy. Some of you were feeling lonely or sad or angry, okay? And that's okay too. Like we talk about, all emotions and all colors are okay. We all feel those sometimes. It's just how do we react to those emotions? How do we make ourselves feel better if we are feeling in the red or in the blue? Okay. So today we are going to talk about a word called frustrated. How many of you all know what frustrated means? Raise your hand. Okay, so what does frustrated mean then? Frustrated means you are very angry or upset because you can't do something you want to do. So let me give you an example. I feel frustrated right now because I want to go to school and see all of you all, but I can't do it because of the coronavirus and because, we're not allowed to go to school. So I am feeling frustrated about that. How many of you all are feeling frustrated too? You can use your me too sign or your disagree. Okay. How many of you all are frustrated because you want to go outside and play, but you can't? Yeah. It's okay to feel frustrated. We all feel very frustrated sometimes. Let's look at how some people look whenever they're frustrated. So what is his face doing? Let me see. Do your frustrated face. What about his hands? What is his hands and his body's doing? He's so tense, and you can almost hear him go. What about him? He's doing the same thing. He's putting his hands on his head. He's clenching his teeth. Okay? Whenever you see that, you can know that maybe that person's feeling frustrated. She's got her fists, in a ball because she's so angry. She's so frustrated. And you can see that little toddler is frustrated too. That toddler is crying because maybe the toddler doesn't get to do something that they want to do. Okay. So today we are going to read a book, and it is on Epic. And so if you want to read this book too, you absolutely can. It's on Epic, and it is called Zach Gets Frustrated. What does frustrated start with? What letter is that? Good job. That's an F. Frustrated. Okay. And Zach Gets Frustrated is written by William Macaulay, and it's illustrated by Darren McKee. Remember, illustrated means the person who drew the pictures. So William Malaki, sorry, I pronounced his name wrong earlier. It's Malaki. He wrote the story, and Darren McKee drew the pictures. Okay, so we're going to read it. And as we're reading, I want you to listen, or I want you to think about, how does Zach show that he is frustrated? What is his body doing? What words is he saying? And how do we know? And then how does his dad help him to not feel frustrated anymore? Okay. You might hear Conley grumbling, my doggy. He's right here, and he's a little sleepy, and he's frustrated that I'm talking and not letting him sleep. Okay. Zach lifted his kite and ran across the beach. He hoped this time the breeze would catch it. But like the other times he'd tried, the kite just fluttered and dived into the sand. "Stupid kite," Zach said. Since the day began, it seems like nothing was going his way, and now his kite wouldn't fly. Zach tried to relax, but it's hard to calm down when your breath is heavy and you feel like screaming. "When are we going home?" he asked his dad. So let's think, tap your brain. How do we know where Zach is on the mood meter right now? Or where is Zach on the mood meter right now? What color is he? And how do you know? Well, okay. I think that he's red, because look at his fists and look at his shoulders. He's all hunched up and he's got his fists really tight. His eyes look really angry too. And he's calling the kite not a nice word. He said, "Stupid kite." And that's not something that we say. That's really not a nice word, but he's feeling very frustrated. Okay. So he asks his dad, "When are we going home?" Because his kite isn't working. "What's the matter?" Dad asked. "You love the beach." "Everything's going wrong today," Zach said, "especially this dumb kite that doesn't even fly." Dad curled his toes into the soft sand. "You sound pretty frustrated." "So, can we go home or what?" Zach asked. "Well, your brothers and I are having a good time," Dad said. "What if I showed you a way to help yourself feel better so you can enjoy yourself too? Then we can all stay." "I can't enjoy myself. This is worse than the day I threw up at school." "Let's give it a try," Dad said. "There are 3 steps I follow that help me handle my frustration. The first step is to name it." He wrote that in the sand by a corner of the kite. So he wrote 1, name it. Name it. And there's the kite. "Ha," Zach said. "I already have a name for it. Stupid, stinking, idiotic, no fun kite." Zach's dad just gave him a funny look. "All right," Zach said, "what do you mean?" So let's think. Is Zach still feeling red on the mood meter? Or does he feel another color yet? I think he still feels red, because he's calling the kite, which is, the toy that he's using in the air, he's calling it bad words still. He's still calling it stupid, stinking, idiotic, no fun. And he's got his arms crossed like this. So he still doesn't feel very happy. He's still feeling pretty angry, pretty red. So his dad says the first thing you have to do is name it. Frustration is what we feel when things don't go the way we want them to, his dad said. It's important to talk about the thing that frustrates you. That's why you name it. You say in words what the problem is. "Do you ever get frustrated?" Zach asked. So Zach is asking his dad a question, which makes me think that Zach is maybe feeling curious right now. Okay, back into the story. "Do you ever get frustrated?" Zach asked. "Oh, yeah. Remember last week when I had so much trouble fixing Alex's bike chain? You pinched your finger and you got grease on your shirt. You were pretty mad. Pretty frustrated, Dad said. So what made you frustrated? Zach thought, so he tapped his brain too. I guess I'm frustrated because I can't fly this kite. So he is frustrated because he can't do something he wants to do, which is to fly the kite. Okay, Dad said. Now the second step is to tame it. That means using your chill skills to help your mind and body relax. That sounds like our meta moment skills, doesn't it? You can take deep breaths, count slowly to 10, or concentrate on a nice sound like ocean waves. So Dad wrote number 2, tame it. Dad said, here's one I really like. I squeeze my face and hands real tight for a few seconds and then let go. When you let that tension go, you get more relaxed than you were before. Let me show you. So Dad's got his face scrunched really tight and his fists and hands scrunched really tight too. Let's try it, okay? So dragons, we're gonna go ahead and on the count of 3, we're gonna scrunch our body and our hands really tight together. And then when I say stop, you're gonna release, okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay, stop. Do you all feel better? I feel a little bit more relaxed. I feel less frustrated than I was before. Zach wasn't in the mood to scrunch up his face and hands, but his dad had taught him some other chill skills. The trick was to practice 1 or 2 that you liked so you'd remember them easily. Meditate, stretch, or picture something you love. What's something that you love? I love Conley. And so maybe when I'm feeling frustrated, I can think about Conley and it'll calm me down. Zach closed his eyes and listened to the waves crashing on the beach. He breathed in slowly through his nose and out through his mouth. Then he did it again. In through the nose, out through the mouth. He felt his body loosening up. So let's pause. What color is Zach feeling right now? Good. If you said green, you're right. Look, his eyes are closed, so his body's relaxed. But he doesn't have any tension or anger. He's feeling relaxed. He's feeling green. Okay, very calm. He felt his body loosening up. Good, Dad said. Now you're ready for the last step. Reframe it. So remember, name it, tame it, reframe it. Reframe it, Zach asked. It means you look at the problem in a new way. When the kite wouldn't fly, I bet you said lots of negative things in your head. I bet you've been thinking crabby thoughts all day. Zach realized his dad was right. A voice in his head had been saying, this was the worst day in the history of the world, and other grumpy things. He thought about those grumpy thoughts again. His best friend Sonia chose to go to the theme park with another friend instead of coming to the beach with Zach. Nobody likes me. That's what Zach was thinking. He dropped his toothbrush in the toilet. I hate mornings. And he stepped on the edge of the litter box and spilled it all over the floor and his foot. Worst day ever. So he's thinking a lot of really negative thoughts, some really bad thoughts. See, your thoughts affect your feelings, Dad said. When you think things are bad, then you feel bad. Guess what can happen when you change or reframe those bad thoughts into good ones? What's the point? Zach said. Bad stuff still happens to me. If I had a magic wand, I'd make everything go the way I want. You can't change what happens to you, Dad said, but you can change what you think about what happened. For example, when Sonia said she couldn't come, you thought nobody likes me. Instead, try thinking, Sonia is a good friend. I will see her soon. Zach remembered what his dad said. And he remembered that he and Sonia had a soccer game tomorrow, which was always fun. Surprisingly, he did feel a little better. So he thought about that voice in his head that said this was the worst day ever. He knew it wasn't really true, so he changed his thought. Zach said, "This kite won't fly, but the beach is awesome. I love jumping in the waves." He looked out at the people splashing in the water. "How do you feel?" asked Dad. "Pretty good, I guess, but I'll never remember all those steps." Check this out, Dad said, tracing the kite. A triangle has 3 points, right? He pointed to the corners. Name it, tame it, reframe it. We'll call this the frustration triangle. The triangle was a good idea. Zach closed his eyes and practiced picturing the triangle with the words at each corner. When he saw name it, he'd say why he was frustrated. When he saw tame it, he'd do deep breathing or another chill skill. And when he saw reframe it, he'd change his negative thoughts into positive ones. So name it, tame it, reframe it. For now, he wanted to enjoy the beach, so he ran out into the waves to swim. When he got out of the water, maybe he'd try that kite again. When Zach uses the frustration triangle, he handles his frustration in a healthy way instead of letting it get the best of him. For help with your frustration, you can use Zach's frustration triangle. Just like Zach, you can name it, tame it, and reframe it to help yourself feel better when things aren't going your way. And that is the end of our story, okay? So we're gonna go back to our pictures. And so we talked about being frustrated, and we talked about what that means. You all shared some of the things that frustrate you. We looked at some pictures of people who are frustrated, but then we read the story about Zach, and we read about the triangle that you can use for naming why you're frustrated, taming those emotions through using chill skills or your meta moment strategies, and then reframing it, making your thoughts from bad thoughts to good thoughts. So I'm frustrated that I can't visit you all, I can't see you all at school. I really want to go to school, but I can't. So I just named it. I named why I'm frustrated. I miss you very much and I want to go to school. So how can I tame it? How can I tame those thoughts? What are some strategies that I can use? Ooh, I can use some meta moment strategies. So maybe I can use Go Noodle. So Go Noodle is amazing. I can do a Go Noodle video. I can dance, make myself feel a little bit better, okay? Because moving helps you feel better. Maybe I can talk about it. Maybe Conley and I can have a conversation. I know he's a dog and can't talk back to me, but he's a really good listener. And I can talk about why I'm feeling frustrated. Maybe I can envision my best self. So sometimes what that means is maybe I can picture how I want to be. And I want to be a really positive person. So instead of getting really down in the dumps and sad about my frustration, I can think about how I can be better. Maybe I just need a sip of water. Water is a super, super powerful drink. And sometimes, whenever we're feeling sad, taking a sip of water can make us feel better and refreshed because it stops us from being dehydrated, which is a word that means you don't have enough water. Maybe I can count to 100. So, what's really important when you feel frustrated is to take a step back and to breathe. And so, if I'm counting to 100, that's 100 seconds that I'm thinking about something else besides me being frustrated. I could blow some bubbles, which is always something that makes me happy. And you're breathing, you're doing your bubble breath, remember? And if you don't have bubbles, you can pretend you do and do your bubble breath. And those are some of the meta moment strategies that I can use to tame my thinking. And the last step is to reframe it. So instead of thinking, I'm so sad that I don't get to go to school and see my fam or see my students and to see you all and to, you all make me happy every single day. I can reframe that and I can say, you know what? It's actually good that we're at home because we're protecting ourselves and other people from catching a virus that could make them really sick. And so I'm really happy that my students, our little dragons, are at home and they're safe, away from all the people who could give them the virus. And so that makes me happy to think about you all being healthy, to think about you all being safe. And so I named my feeling, I tamed my feeling, and now I reframed my feeling. Okay. Okay. So anytime you get frustrated this week, whether it's your brother stole your crayons, or you just want to go outside and play, or you're sad because you don't get to go to school, or maybe you're really frustrated because you want to play a video game and now your internet doesn't work, or something like that, remember the 3 steps. Name it, tame it, and reframe it. And if you want another strategy, we're not going to watch this right now, but you can go to this website and you can see how Daniel Tiger handles frustration. So it's pbskids.org/learn/life's little lessons/mad feelings. And I hope to see you all very soon. I know that we're not going to see each other until the end of the summer, but that's okay because I'll make another video for you really, really, really soon. All right. Okay. Bye now. Have a really good day, and I hope that you have a great lesson with Miss Cardis and Miss Sugai.